Hello. Welcome to the news. This week we have news on new aircraft, some scenery, some more aircraft, and even a world update. Don't go anywhere. So I am joined yet again by my fearless co-host, your man over there, Gibbo from that place. Gibbo, how are you?
Murph, how you doing? Hey, this is our 20th show. Can you believe it?
20 shows? God almighty. That's the thing. And look at it's never looked as good, Gibbo.
It's come on a lot.
It has come on. Right. Now, we've loads of news, as I was saying, as we always do. But this week, a lot of aircraft news, which is pretty sweet. So we're going to start off with this. Gibbo, what is this?
Oh, Murph, this is the Socata TB30 Epsilon from Azure Poly. Now, I know you're good friends with Azure Poly after the release of the Fuga Magister, of course, and indeed they're staying close to their French roots with this one. And they've just announced that this next aircraft of the Epsilon will be coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator. The background to this, actually, for those that don't know of the Socata TB30 Epsilon, is that the French Air Force were searching for a light piston aircraft to be used for new pilot training. And the TB30 was built on purpose as a tandem two-seater, imitating most of what could be found on fighter aircrafts.
Ooh.
So, more than 30 generations of fighter pilots have been trained on this particular machine. What Azure Poly are doing here is they're working with another French company called Vertical Flight Experience. You can see on screen a little about them. And what they do is they provide recreational flights in the TB30 for the general public, meaning they'll have very close access to the real world airplane, which is definitely a good thing. So at the moment, it's very early days. There's no real further information at this moment in terms of features or indeed a release date. We know how good the Fuga Magister was, however. And what we can tell from that, if that's anything to go by, between the time that they announced the Fuga Magister and its actual release, it was about 3 months. So maybe that's a good indication in terms of the development time for this one.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this aircraft because it is a native French trainer. It was very much kind of designed to prepare pilots to move on from this kind of to the Alpha jet. So there's a lot of the layout is it's going to be very similar to that of jet pilots. In particular, the way the seats are aligned as well. Some of the other aircraft that would be in competition with this was probably the Texan. Amongst others, it's not too far from the old PC7s as well, the Pilata stuff. So yeah, no, it looks like a really pretty airplane. So I can't wait to find out more from Azure Poly. So moving on, I get to speak now. Prepare yourselves. Here we are looking at a new release from our friends over at Burning Blue Design, and it is that of Fairoaks Echo Golf Tango Foxtrot. It's available now, located in the southwest of London. Down near Surrey. Fairoaks is a general aviation airport operated by Fairoaks Operations Limited. It first opened in 1931 as a private airstrip, and it was then used by the military from 1936 and became RAF Fairoaks during the Second World War. The scenery, which has been recreated here by Burning Blue Design, features over 80 custom 3D objects that have been created exclusively for the airport, each with full PBR textures. It's based on 2022 visits to the airfield, which is nice. It includes a new temporary control tower adjacent to taxiway Bravo, high-resolution colour-corrected ground textures, working custom windsocks, open hangar parking. The list goes on and on. What I particularly like about this one, they've also included the nearby Murph garage. I mean, McLaren Centre, right? They've put McLaren in here. So this scenery I've seen before from Orbex. They released a cracker of one a couple of years ago. And it's great to see Burning Blue Design following on. Clearly they were inspired from that because they have included that McLaren facility. There's nothing licensed, but the building is very accurate. They have a couple of you can see it there, a couple of nice cars parked there as well. And what's great about this, during our live stream tonight, we're going to be having a closer look at this, and Burning Blue Designs have given us 3 copies to give away live on our stream tonight. So that's pretty awesome. Gibbo, we're going to look at this in more detail. I know you've been messing around with it, finding out what's good, what's bad. Did you have fun here, or did you find it meh?
Yeah, I did. I did a review on White Walton, which from Burning Blue some time ago. Actually, the video you can find on your YouTube channel. But it's very similar. It's actually White Walton is a stone's throw away, as is Farnborough from Fairoaks. It's fun. It's definitely a lot of attention to detail has gone into this. A lot of care and passion comes through for sure in the series. So looking forward to taking folks through it on the live stream a little later. And indeed, this is available, as you said, right now. It's available from burningbluedesign.com, and it's priced at £13.
Nice.
So Murph, I think I'll move us on if that's okay with you, and we'll talk about the Tiger Moth next. So this comes from Ants Airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a little background about the Tiger Moth briefly. It's obviously a popular British biplane, which is primarily designed for training purposes leading up to World War II. And Ants Airplanes released the Drifter 582 Ultralight earlier this year in what was their first entrance into Microsoft Flight Simulator. And really, this one is kind of rivaling some, biplane options that we've seen already so far, including the Stearman, and more recently the Staggerwing, and indeed others. Similarly to what we covered actually with the Socata, it's very early days here. These are just early images that we have at the moment showing it with its Gypsy engine exposed. Mm-hmm. Which exhibits a detailed model of the engine, as we can see. There will be some cool functionality that we know of coming to it, such as the prop, spinner, and engine panels can all be removed. And of course, we'll be following closely on the development of this aircraft, so more to come soon.
Absolutely. Gibbo, did you know, right, the Tiger Moth, the propeller spins the other way?
Why?
I don't know why. I just thought, I don't know. But it spins the other way.
Okay.
Most conventional props spin a certain direction. The Tiger Moth goes the opposite way. There's a handful of these that went the opposite way. So yeah, a very unique airplane. It's still flying. There's a number of clubs in the UK who would use this aircraft for kind of pleasure flights and scenic flights and so on and so on. But I was happy enough with that Drifter. I thought it was kind of fantastically, and I was very impressed with the coding and the level of functionality they put into that radio. It's a small little walkie-talkie. They really coded that well. So it'll be interesting to see here what they do with the Tiger Moth. So really looking forward to that. So next up, I'm going to right. I do the hard things, so you don't have to. We have a MiG-29 released into the marketplace, right? Well, the NATO name for the MiG-29 was Fulcrum. I've always known it as a MiG-29 Fulcrum, right? Now, couple of things off the bat, right? Where does one start with the notes on this, or like what about the product? The developer's name in this is kind of enough to make you go next, but hear me out. Demos, or Dimos, the developer behind this, who's have a bit of a kind of a turbulent kind of, some of the aircraft he's released. My own opinion on that would be they're not
sketchy.
Yeah, well, they're not fitting of a next gen sim. However, credit where credit is due. So, hear me out. The MiG-29 Fulcrum is a single-seat, twin-engine supersonic fighter aircraft designed from the Soviet Union during the 1970s. The aircraft served in a number of countries, including Russia, Poland, Ukraine, and Malaysia. It seems to be a better offering to Microsoft Flight Sim than the previous release from Demos, namely that of the SU-27. Demos makes reference to a user called Joyless Tunic 738 and thanks them for their input in making this MiG a reality in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It does fly a little bit better, and it can at times be a handle to keep it in a stable condition, which breathes a little bit of more life into it. It also features some decent visual effects. You have the normal things like you have vapor trails, it has multicolored smoke. In fact, it has multiple smoke that you can deploy from each wing. It has a parachute deployable as well. Not to mention, you do have the ability to get your name appear on the side canopy, which is, I haven't seen that before in an add-on, so it's kind of cool to see it. The developer does have a somewhat kind of dodgy background when it comes to subpar add-ons, and again, these opinions are that of my own. However, the pricing tended to reflect that as well, as these were always priced usually on the lower end of the scale. I won't say it's like an arcade kind of a thing, but it's kind of like an arcade kind of a thing. So anyway, it's for sale now. It's over on the marketplace. It's also available for the Xbox, and it's priced at €19.99. I have this. If anyone's interested in a showcase video, if you want to see what it's all about, let me know in the description below, and we'll have a look at it for you. straight off the bat, before I even review it, this is by far the best aircraft this developer has ever released. By far. So there's something there in that. But anyway, moving on. Just I'm doing well, Gibbo. Moving on,
Sure.
Gibbo. I let you pronounce this thing.
I was hoping you'd do it. Thanks for covering the last one, by the way. So this is the this is the LEDUC or L24 from Blue Mesh, who we previously known for the C430 Raphael, or the uncanny flying inflatable boat. You have to review that one. That would be hilarious. Although I don't think you're too impressed. So the LEDUC or L21 is a single-engine light aircraft designed and built in the 50s by René LEDUC to be a fast but modestly powered airplane. It managed to settle some records in its class, but ended up being more like an experimental plane more than anything else. Only one was built, so you'd be forgiven for not knowing too much about it. But yeah, Blue Mesh are bringing this airplane to Microsoft Flight Sim, and it'll be available in circa the April-May timeframe. So more to come on this one.
Like, I like the look of it. Do you know, it is of that kind of, it gives you that era look, which I do like. So it'd be interesting to see what they kind of do with it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to more news on that. So the World Update, it was stalled, it was delayed for the reason. And well, we have a bit of news. It's going to release tomorrow morning. And during the dev Q&A today, Jorg has kind of given away one or two little secrets about it. He went into some of the photogrammetry cities that they've included. I can't pronounce them either, but I know Lisbon is there, which is fantastic news because Lisbon is an amazing city. But some of the other bits and bobs relating to World Update, well, we know it covers Iberia, which is Spain and Portugal. There's going to be 99 points of interest, 4 complete airports, just new missions, new photogrammetry in the cities, and it'll also include a 2-meter digital elevation model for Spain. Now, you might say, yeah, no, that's great. Some of the mountains and the ranges in Spain are absolutely incredible. Spain is a fantastic area to go flying. And if you're on the Irish side of the fence, Aer Lingus pilots used to, I think there still are, they go down as far as Jerez, down in southern Spain for training. It's near Granada there, and they have all, like, there's mountains there you've never seen before, so it's absolutely cracking. They're going to release it tomorrow morning. Do be sure to empty everything out of your community folder just in case. Well, we'll be checking this out in detail probably next week. Our airliner flight tomorrow on our live stream over on YouTube and Twitch, or YouTube and Facebook even, not on Twitch. That's going to be in Spain. We're going to be taking off from Barcelona, we're going to Lisbon, and then we're going out to Madeira. So it's going to be interesting to see what we're going to see there. They also gave us an update regarding the Dornier DOJ, that new aircraft. It looks fantastic. Jorg even said it's one of his favorites. It's just a beautiful looking airplane, boat plane. And I think that's going to follow probably early next week, a couple of days later. So World Update 8 very much on the way. So moving on, I'm on fire.
Murph, can I put in here just a little bit more info, if that's okay, just in terms of the World Update? So as you said, it's Spain, Portugal, Gibraltar and Andorra are included. I saw lots of questions as to whether or not the Canary Islands were going to be included as well, and they are.
Ooh.
So we got a little snippet of a trailer, and we can see Tenerife, for example, so we know that that's there too. And they just recently announced, as an hour ago, World Update 9. Ooh. Which will be for Italy and Malta, which is coming in mid-May. So that'll be what Jorg said, their biggest update yet, with over 8,000 square kilometers of photogrammetry, much bigger than the Australia update. So that's around the corner too.
Yeah, but this is something we need to kind of work on. Do you know the way when I plan flights, like Hannibal, who started off in the south of Spain and ended up in Italy? And it's only when we finish that they update Spain and Italy. It's great cast altogether. But come here, I didn't know they were doing the Canaries. Did I ever tell you the time I was in Tenerife and I rented a car?
No.
Oh yeah, I rented a car and we drove up to the volcano. It's called Mount Dieda, right? Volcano, brilliant now. Myself and Mr. Two-Tone, we were in a Hyundai Getz. Right, it was literally like Murph getting out of the clown car.
Was it sideways?
It was like, I don't know what the movie is, Despicable Me. But anyway, driving up to this volcano, it's all the roads wind up to the volcano. We had a great day out. Drove up to the north of the island, back to the south of the island. It was fantastic. Got back to our hotel, parked the car in the parking area where other cars had parked, and I went in, as you do, for my afternoon siesta. I came back out, and the car was gone. Seemingly in this location, right? Who would have known? There's no, when they put like a parking sign and like no parking, and it goes 1400 to 1600, usually you would say there is no parking between 2 and 4. Usually. Let's picture that. You have a sign with a car with a line through it, and it says 1400 to 1600. The Irish head in me says that clear message received. Don't park here between 2 and 4. What the sign actually meant was you can only park in there between 2 and 4, which I did. But it was 5 o'clock when I came back from my siesta, and well, the car ended up in the pound, and then I had to bail the poor car out. But anyway, there was me delaying me after, well, me. But there you are. There's Tenerife for the win. Anyway, now we're going to move on.
Story time with Murph.
Didn't we say 30 minutes? Right, Gibbo, what's happening here?
So we got the goose here, Murph, the Grumman J or F6B goose from Big Radials. Ooh. So we know Big Radials, of course, from the P40B Tomahawk and the Newport 17. And yes, what can we say about this vintage amphibious bird? So yeah, actually the history briefly here is before Big Radials were Big Radials. So they before they formed the company itself, the developers developed the freeware G21A Redux 2, which we have available to us at the moment. And that was already a lovely little airplane, despite its roots being in the old FSX model. And what they've done here is completely rebuild it from the ground up to be a native Microsoft Flight Sim model. And of course, that means highly detailed 3D model itself, 4K PBR textures, custom sounds, and they're even going a little bit further. So, you know, if you fly it like you stole it, it'll lead to engine failures and indeed fire and smoke. So when this was first announced, Big Radials did say that they would launch alongside it a couple bush trips to go with the Goose. And for now, it seems that only one is included. It's a kind of go on a Canadian fishing holiday where you can fly from Seattle to Stewart, but more are planned for the future. So yes, this is available right now. It's available priced at €24 through the official website or Orbix coming soon, and indeed the marketplace as well. So there's lots to talk about here with this one. I think we're going to show it off a little bit later. There's even a fishing pole and a stool that comes with it. So
it has an anchor. Literally, I'm going to be on a boat. I can't wait. So yeah, we're going to be checking this out in a lot more detail a little bit later on as well. So it's great news. A fantastic airplane. And again, the Irish thinking the aircraft operated a Goose way back when in 2019. No, it wasn't. It was in the late 40s. But anyway, moving on. And I get to talk again, Gibbo. I'm not used to this. But anyway, here we have some news from our friends at Just Flight, and it is looking at the PA38, the Tomahawk, or I heard someone say recently the Tomahawk. But anyway, what can we tell you about it? Well, it's an accurately modelled PA38 built using real-world aircraft data and photography. Just Flight had access to a real one of these, so this thing is going to be a very top-tier aircraft. They have released this on other platforms, I believe X-Plane 11, but this is a super little GA airplane. Waiting to hear some of this, right? Numerous animations, which we're used to now from Just Flight. You know, the passenger doors, windows, visors, all that kind of good stuff. Detailed normal mapping for down to the rivet precision of texture clarity. That's huge. Accurate 3D model cockpit consisting of full 3D instruments. Cockpit textures features wear and tear based from reference photographs. It comes with the Just Flight EFB, or their electronic flight bag, the little tablet that gives you all your settings, which also includes state saving. It'll work with the GTN 750 and GTN XI 750, so it'll integrate with them. This is a very capable IFR aircraft. It comes with a ton of its own avionics, which is great because having some of the GA airplanes, especially the ones that have been released, some of the Carinata ones, when it comes to the IFR stuff, they don't really behave outside of the GNS 430. It's going to be very interesting to see how this works with Just Flight. They have an accurate aircraft systems modelling, including the fuel, electrics, carburetor and spark plugs. There are failures. It also has a complete WY sound set recorded from a real Tomahawk. That's going to be fantastic. This comes with 16 liveries. It has a realistic and accurate flight model tested by real-world Tomahawk pilots. and there is a comprehensive manual included. We have no release date just yet, but we do know that the team at Just Flight are working on this. They are so busy. The 146 is on the horizon. They have the Fokker coming out, and now already the Tomahawk. And looking at these pictures, I mean, this thing looks pretty much highly polished already. So can't wait to see this come to fruition at all. But speaking of the very fancy and great, Just Flight have established themselves with that name. This hot off the shelf this evening. Gibbo, what's the story with this?
Oh, have we saved the best to last? I'll let you guys decide. This is the 414 Cessna Chancellor Murph from Fly Simware, not to be confused with Swimmer, who we know from the Grumman Widgeon, of course. And yes, this is due to be released tomorrow, Murph, at time of recording, which is Thursday, the 24th of March. Now, it comes with a hefty price tag, so make sure you're sitting down, and that price tag is $50. But let me tell you about this, though. You know, it could be worth it. It could be worth it. So, first of all, the 414, of course, is an American light pressurized twin-engine aircraft built by Cessna. It first flew in 1968, and an improved variant was introduced in 1978 as the 414A Chancellor. It's pressurized, and it was developed to appeal to owners of really unpressurized twin-engine aircraft, being based on the fuselage of the Cessna 421 and using the wing design of the Cessna 401. So let me tell you a little about this. So Fly Simware have modeled this vintage aircraft using every feature they could possibly do that the sim offers to give us simmers the best experience for a realistic simulation. So they have an interactive co-pilot, they have highly accurate gauges, they are very confident of flight dynamics, having had access to the real bird. There's an extreme level of attention that hopefully comes across from I've never seen so many screenshots, quite honestly, when putting together these videos. I think there's over 50 different screenshots just to really illustrate the depth of detail that they've gone through here. And they've recorded sounds, again, having access to the real thing, over a 2-year period. So alongside that, what else I can tell you? Yes, there's over 70 recorded sounds from the actual aircraft. There'll be 3 different panel variants with a range of different avionic options, including Garmin, including the GTN 750 and the new TDS GTN 750 XI. It'll include every instrument you can possibly think of, including ORNAV radios, a Davron clock, a fuel computer, and lots more. So this is a very interesting one, and it'll come with 4 paint schemes. So what do you think, Murph? $50, but it does look outstanding, I gotta say.
Yeah, like that price point is going to command an excellent expectation when it comes to an aircraft. However, what I do know, Flight Simware, they own this aircraft, or at least they have access to it, and they also have a customized version of it, which this model that they are releasing is based off of that. They have created and custom coded their own instruments based on what's in the aircraft itself. It's a first for some flight simulators because they now have new types of instruments in there. I think this has all the hallmarks to be an excellent aircraft. It's priced very much to compete with the Just Flight aircraft, but I think in terms of the realism, the flight model, and dare I even say it, study level, at least on paper, this thing has all of that. I've never seen such a feature list ticking all these boxes from a developer. And like, we followed this story since it first broke a couple of months ago. You know, we had a great video showing off the interior and the lighting. There's over 100 custom lighting configurations. 100 lights! But all of this, the sound set is accurate, the flight dynamics are going to be accurate, and looking at the pictures, I mean, the attention to detail here just looks absolutely incredible. This thing should be released, as you say, on Thursday. I'm picking it up instantly because I want to see what it's all about. And again, if you guys would like to see an in-depth look at this, well, let us know in the comment section below. We'll definitely take this for a spin next Wednesday. But it does look super. I'm really excited for this one, Gibbo. It's like the king of GA at the minute, at least, you know. But right, is that it? That's it. Gibbo, we did it in one take, and I was marvellous once again. You weren't too bad yourself. But don't forget, guys, you'll catch us over on the live stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Twitch at 2000 Zulu time. Although I think the clocks are changing. Don't we spring forward? Right. When are they changing?
Spring forward at the weekend, Saturday night.
So
Sunday morning.
you'll catch us at 1900 Zulu very, very soon over on on twitch.tv/2Tone Murphy. I nearly messed up at the end. Gibbo, we have to do it again. I'm only joking. Right, so until next time, look after yourselves, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks for watching. Take care.